Lucas Reed grew up believing he was invisible. Not in the literal sense, but in the way people passed by him without noticing, teachers, classmates, even neighbors. He was the quiet boy in the back row, the one who never raised his hand because experience had taught him it didn't matter. When you're told often enough that you're average, not special, or unlikely to succeed, you eventually stop fighting it. By the time Lucas turned 17, he had already decided that life was something to endure, not shape. Dreams felt like luxuries meant for other people. His grades were decent but unremarkable. His family wasn't poor, but they lived carefully, counting every dollar. No one expected much from Lucas, and slowly, he learned not to expect much from himself. Guidance counselors spoke to him about realistic paths and safe choices, words that sounded practical but felt like quiet limitations. Each conversation reinforced the same unspoken message: don't aim too high. You'll only disappoint yourself. Lucas absorbed those words deeply, letting them define the edges of his world. Everything changed on an ordinary afternoon that didn't feel important at all. Lucas was staying late at school, sitting alone in the library, pretending to study while staring blankly at the pages. He was considering dropping an advanced writing class, one he believed he didn't belong in. That's when Mrs. Evelyn Carter, the substitute literature teacher, walked past his table. She stopped, glanced at his notebook, and asked what he was working on. Lucas hesitated, embarrassed, then quietly slid the page toward her. She read in silence for nearly a minute. Lucas watched her face, expecting confusion or polite disinterest. Instead, she looked up and said something simple, something that didn't sound dramatic or rehearsed. "You see the world differently," she said. "And that's not common." Lucas laughed nervously, assuming she was just being kind. But she continued, her voice steady. "Most people repeat what they hear. You notice what others miss. Don't waste that." Then she handed the notebook back and walked away. That sentence followed Lucas home. It echoed in his mind while he lay in bed, while he stared at the ceiling, while doubt tried to reclaim its place. You see the world differently. No one had ever said that to him before. Not once. For years, he had been defined by what he lacked. In a single moment, someone had named a strength he didn't know he had. It didn't erase his fear, but it cracked something open, just enough for possibility to enter. Over the next weeks, Lucas didn't transform overnight. He still doubted himself. He still felt small. But something subtle shifted. He stayed in the writing class. He revised his essays instead of giving up halfway. He began reading authors who made him feel less alone. Every time insecurity whispered, Mrs. Carter's words stood quietly against it, not louder, but steadier. He realized that belief doesn't arrive fully formed, sometimes it begins as a borrowed thought. Years later, Lucas would remember that moment clearly. He went on to study journalism, not because he was fearless, but because he was curious. He struggled, failed, rewrote, and doubted himself countless times. But he kept going. Eventually, his writing found readers. Not millions. Not overnight. But enough. Enough to matter. Enough to prove that the boy who once felt invisible had something worth saying. One evening, after a small but meaningful achievement, his first published long-form article, Lucas searched for Mrs. Carter online. He found out she had retired. He wrote her a letter anyway, unsure if she'd ever read it. In it, he quoted her exact words and explained how they had stayed with him all these years. He ended the letter with a simple sentence: "You had no idea who I was. But you changed my life." Mrs. Carter replied months later. Her message was brief. She said she barely remembered that day, but she remembered believing it. "I didn't give you anything you didn't already have," she wrote. "I only named it." Lucas realized then how fragile moments can be, and how powerful. A single sentence, spoken without expectation, had altered the direction of his entire life. We often underestimate our words. We think they disappear once spoken. But words linger. They settle into minds, shape identities, and quietly influence choices long after the moment has passed. You never know when your voice might become someone else's turning point. One sentence. One moment. One chance to remind someone of who they could be. The power of words is not in how loud they are, but in how deeply they are heard.